Hello and welcome to the morning show team off with Revsportz. A very good morning, and today is a very special day in Indian cricket, the birthday of the mastermind Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Thalaiva Thala, whatever you call him, the great Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So Bharat, good morning to you. And uh, the man turns 42 today, but still he is the enigma or the charisma that Indian cricket had. Any special Dhoni fond, any fond Dhoni memories that you have?
Memories. See, first time I knew that there was a guy called MS Dhoni was I think way back in 2002. I don't know. Maybe before he played in Kenya. There was a Ranji Trophy game. I guess Karnataka were playing Bihar then. It was Bihar, I guess. And it was. I just saw some scorecard on Times of India brief scorecard. There was this through national newspaper. I just saw his name. I didn't know he was going to become so great. Obviously, after that, he played those great knocks in the eight try series, I guess, in Kenya and got in. Didn't have the best of starts, in
Hmm.
Bangladesh, and then he scored that brilliant 100 against Pakistan. Yeah, and the interesting part is I guess, bachelor's of business and administration exam, final exam it was. Don't remember which exam it was. So, as you know, at that time, not many of us had mobile phones. A few, couple, three of
Yeah.
them or something like that had mobile phones. But during bachelor degree time, this is 2004. Yeah, 2004. Well, was coming out. There's a TV in canteen.
Hmm.
That is when this Dhoni was hammering big sixes, and it was my best friend at the time, Mr. Mohammad Altaf, said, "See who is batting here." I was also surprised because no one is expecting MS Dhoni suddenly to come and play that great knock at the top of the order. So that is when obviously Dhoni became a star, and don't I need to tell much about the T20 World Cup in World T20 then 2007 or 2007 World Cup. I mean, so many things have been said about it. So obviously Chennai Super Kings, all those IPL trophies. Yeah, he's just
Hmm.
become a legend because last time India won an ICC trophy was way back in 2013 Champions Trophy. So perhaps people now know it is not so easy to lead a team to an ICC win. That is why perhaps he's becoming even more of a legend somewhere in 2023 than what he was perhaps somewhere five,
Hmm.
6 years ago. Maybe that would be the case with see one Neeraj Chopra or someone when he retires, something like that. People would know how difficult it is
Hmm.
for an Indian to go and dominate track and field event. Now they think, oh, he has won a gold medal, so others might go on to win. That is not something that perhaps we would see for many years. And even with ICC trophy, all of us perhaps thought India would win a few more trophies in the last 10 years, but it's not happened.
Absolutely. And you rightly mentioned about the ICC trophies part. I remember, I think Ravi Shastri saying this line that winning ICC trophy isn't easy, just MS Dhoni makes it look easy. So, yeah, fantastic. And he's a charisma, but also an enigma for the media persons because not many of the media persons have exclusive Dhoni interviews. He never gives interviews. Yesterday, I was talking to Boyada also about it. That he was telling that he doesn't give exclusive interviews to anyone. He is such a character. But yes,
Obviously, I have
fantastic.
to add, as I said, these things are known, but I have to add about the Joginder Sharma over or obviously the ball out against Pakistan, where Uttapa and others went and took out the Pakistan attack that had Asif and company. So it was interesting where Dhoni was standing right behind the stumps in a straight line. Yeah, this sort of memories always would be there.
Yeah, exactly. And Dhoni behind the stumps is something unique. Everyone will see in cricket. We we have great wicket keepers. There will be better wicket keepers, but uh, he had something else to the team, and I
I
am a
think he's
huge Dhoni.
definitely as a keeper. I think he's definitely the best keeper I've seen to spin bowling
Hmm.
because he does things perhaps even the great Ian Haley wouldn't have done, keeping to Shane Warne. I saw a lot
Hmm.
of Ian Haley as well. Spin bowling is I think is the best keeper because he can do stumpings, he can take catches that a lot of others wouldn't be able to take. So yeah, seam bowling, pace bowling. I think I've seen better
Hmm.
keepers, but it's definitely to spin bowling is the best. And obviously, when he was
The
especially at
same.
his peak, he was known as the great finisher. He used to finish a lot of games.
Hmm. Exactly, and the stumps also. I don't think anybody is faster in the stumps in doing stump outs than Dhoni. But another one, I remember the in the final IPL final this time, Harsha Bhongle asked him a question that why do these people love you so much? There are so many great cricketers, but why? What is special about you? I remember his answer, and it was fantastic. He said probably because they can relate to me in their playing style. The way I play cricket is probably how they play cricket on the roads. You can't copy a Sachin Tendulkar or a Virat Kohli, but the way I play cricket
Helicopter
is,
shots.
sorry.
Yeah, the helicopter shot.
Yeah, and his playing style is kind of the gully cricket style, and that's what he said. That probably the people relate to me when they play cricket. That's why they love me so much. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, that's what I already described one shot.
Yeah.
That especially first game used to play with not this whatever kind of shot that he used to play. Yeah, he's a bit rustic in that sense. He's someone who doesn't belong to the ethics of batsmanship. Especially when he first came on the scene, even when he played against a seaming ball. I remember a Old Trafford test. Mr. Jimmy Anderson obviously was absolutely ripping through the heart of Indian batting unit. This is the 2014 Old Trafford test, I guess.
Mm,
And outworked MS Dhoni. This guy was getting the ball to seam, swing it both ways. And he took a couple of steps, kept taking a couple of steps, kept hitting him through the covers, extra cover.
mm,
That really bemused Anderson because the top order batters couldn't lay a bat, and this guy was playing some unorthodox shots and just rattled him. That's what Dhoni is, even when it is obviously. I'm not saying he's
yeah.
a great player of the swinging ball or seaming ball, but the kind of knock he played that day that was interesting to watch. Yeah, and at his peak, he had a lot of flair, obviously, with his bottom-handed shots. Someone who had that strong forearms, the way he used to play over mid-wicket, long on straighter boundaries. That was always great to watch.
Absolutely. And, I don't usually remember such great knocks with dates, but I do remember this one. When you talk about it, I can recall it that innings. It was extremely well. And yes, for our viewers, today every whole day we are celebrating MS Dhoni. You will have lots of written articles and videos coming up. There is an exclusive ex- interview with one of his teammates from CSK talking about him on his birthday. So do keep a watch on our social media handles for all the exclusives. And Bharat, moving to Ashes, the test in Headingley, the third test. Uh, Australia, first innings they played 260 is something I think they put on the board, 268. And England in reply are 68 for three. So already 3 wickets down. What do you see? And Joe Root and Bairstow batting. I'll come to that Bairstow's dismissal the previous game, but your thoughts so far on the first day of the
The
Ashes?
ball was skimming around. There was, I think, among the three tests, this track had the most amount of grass. Perhaps England, as they wanted to win, they spiced up the track. They should have definitely bowled them out for 200, but as you know, England in the last 5 years have been dropping catch after catch after catch. So it wasn't a surprise that Mitchell Marsh was dropped when he was on one or whatever, and he went down to score that brilliant 118. And it was England's supposedly safest catcher who dropped it, Joe Root, and again he dropped.
Hmm.
I guess Travis Head was dropped by him. Barrister dropped one catch of Head, a difficult chance, but yeah, that's typical England on that track. They should have definitely bowled out Australia for under 200, at least 200. They should have
Hmm.
bowled them out. They got 60 runs excess because of that. uh, because of their poor catching, something that they've been
Hmm.
doing the first two tests, which cost them the first two test matches. People will talk about their batting, their bowling, but the main culprit has been their fielding. And
Fielding.
again, they've done it. So it is not a surprise. Yeah, Mitchell Marsh played a blinder. He's someone who plays with hard hands.
Okay.
But he
Seven four.
just backed his game. Yes, he plays with hard hands, so I always feel if the ball is seaming around, he will be caught in the slip cotton. But he backed his game, and that rattled England. Definitely played. They did Marsh ball to Bass ball, and then England they had Harry Brook at number three. I think that he's not a number three batter. That's for sure. When the ball is seaming around with that back foot trigger. I even envisaged this kind of dismissal during the New Zealand Test series that because his
Hmm.
back foot trigger somewhere he will half commit on the front foot and get caught behind. I told it in the first test of the New Zealand versus England Test series. That's what happened today. But he has to bat at three because obviously Joe Root doesn't want to bat at three. Even for
Hmm.
stopgap option, he wants to bat at four. So that's where he go. Even though it's by 1,000 miles, I think England's best, technically England's best batter. So that's where we are. 68 for three. Moeen Ali at seven. Chris Stokes at eight. Uh,
Hmm.
a couple of wickets if they go, I think England will be in trouble. They gave 60 more runs, and that is where they might again lose this test.
Hmm. Exactly. And Mitchell Marsh knock was a one-day knock, as you mentioned. He took the baseball approach, 17 fours and four sixes, 118 of 118 balls, so 100 strike rate. It's fantastic, and that's what is good about the Australia side. When the top order fails, anyone picks up from where it is left and do the job. Yes, and credit to that those drop catches from England. But thoughts on the fifer from Mark Wood?
Yeah, see, Mark Wood is an interesting case because when he first came on the scene, he was bowling 85, 86 miles per hour, 87 miles per hour. He's one of those rare bowlers who has really upped his pace with age. Become an express fast bowler. Yes, bowlers have upped their pace, but I guess only two I can remember. One is Imran Khan, and the other one I think is Shane Bond, who
Hmm.
started out as not fast bowlers, express fast bowlers, and they became express fast bowlers with time. This guy is also someone who started out as a fast medium bowler and now is an express fast bowler. But the best thing about Wood was he didn't spray it around or try to just bowl short stuff. That track obviously demanded a bowler to also pitch it up. That's what he did, and that's why he took five
Hmm.
wickets. Because yes, if he had played in the Lord's game, I think England definitely would have had some sort of advantage because he's I think one of the best hit the deck fast bowlers. It definitely would have given England some leverage at least, but obviously it was
Hmm.
not match fit. But at Headingley, they needed him to pitch it up along with a few short balls. That's what he did. As you know, Headingley Leeds is a very curious track, even when they
Hmm.
leave grass. If you get the length right, if you get the line right, you can take wickets. But if you get it slightly wrong, it can be like what Mitchell Marsh did. So it's always been like that.
Hmm.
That's why you see dramatic things happening at Headingley. Uh, and the spectacle yesterday as well, we saw a dramatic day's play.
Okay, and final thoughts on your favorite Jimmy Bhai getting dropped, and where do you see this match going, and what are your expectations from day two?
So I think somewhere you'll be seeing this pitch and wondering I should have been bowling on this pitch, but because even out of form Jimmy Anderson, I think would back him to succeed 8 out of 10 times on this pitch. I'm pretty sure he would
Hmm.
have taken two, three wickets on this pitch, but obviously they didn't pitch him. But Ben Stokes said uh, most likely it's indicated that in a court that he would likely return for the Old Trafford test. As you know, Ollie Robinson, again, injury prone pace bowler, yesterday too got injured. So I think he will return for the Old Trafford test. As
Hmm.
I've already written a pace, I don't think there's a huge problem with him because pace is still 85, 86 miles per hour. What I've seen is this has bowlers, everyone has a muscle memory. I think he's lost the muscle memory for now about wicket taking sense of how to get a left-hander out. So that's where he has to go and get his muscle memory or wicket taking sense back. I think that's where it
Okay.
is. Yeah, because one of greatest strengths of Anderson over a period of time, because he bowled so much, I guess is he knows where to hit the length, where to hit the line. in
mm,
Test cricket, and that is when you are at your peak. Because if you have that kind of wicket-taking sense or visualization that
mm,
where can I hit the line, where can I hit the length to each batter, that is where you are definitely at a peak. Somewhere in the last, he was actually doing well in county cricket. Then he had that
mm,
mild grind strain. He returned. He didn't play any competitive game. Straight away went to an Ashes series. Somewhere he's lost a
mm.
bit of muscle memory, a wicket-taking sense of how to get a wicket. Uh, that is where we are. If he gets it back, I'm pretty sure at least on this pitch, he would have got 2, 3 wickets. But that is what they decided. Let's see. I think he'll return for the Old Trafford Test. And I will go back to
Okay.
Umran Malik is there as well. People
Mm,
talk about his fast bowling. People talk about his line and length. I don't think it is anything to do with line and length. Even in T20 cricket, I feel Umran Malik's greatest, what can you say, the one thing he has learned is this wicket-taking sense or where to hit the line, when to bowl fast, when to bowl short, when to
mm,
slightly move up a gear, when to not bowl so fast and look for little bit of conventional swing. And this sort of things Umran Malik has to learn as well. Even in Test cricket, he has to play. Currently, he's just, I think, bowling fast. Many journalists, many say is to bowl line in length and all. If he goes and bowls line in length, I'm 99% sure Umran Malik will lose pace. As an express fast bowler, it's not about bowling line
mm.
in length for him. It's about having that fast bowler's mindset, which Mark Wood has. So it's about having that little bit of wicket taking sense. I guess when it comes to Anderson, he's lost that wicket taking sense for the time being.
Okay, and yes, we hope he returns for the Old Trafford Test, and he's yes, I know your favorite, but I also love him so much, and he has. I remember Jimmy Anderson from my school days, so that's some nostalgia for me also. So Jimmy Anderson, and my backdrop has fallen. So thank you for watching. And
It's
for our
not just
viewers,
about him being my favorite. So what happened is I've seen him for 21 years. It was I wrote him in that copy. 2002. It was I returned from college.
hmm,
Pre-university I was doing, and I just switched on some ESPN. It was at that time, and they were showing some highlights of Norwich Union 40 over league or something like that. And this guy with the baby face guy, it was different. It was different from a typical English bowler. Looked like a more of a Pakistani
hmm,
bowler, but was bowling outswing. Pakistani bowlers definitely bowl in swing a lot more. This guy was bowling outswing, and his action looked different.
hmm,
That is where 21 years, so somewhere, yeah, a little bit of emotion is there because I watched him for
hmm.
so long, watched him through thick
Exactly.
and thin when
That's what I was telling. Emotions and
Triple told is
nostalgia.
no good. When he was smashed by Bailey, when he was smashed by Aiden, when he was smashed by Sana Jayasuriya all over the park,
Hmm.
people told he was no good. But I stuck through thick and thin because I knew this guy has a lot of skill. He's a very skillful bowler and he's taken 688 wickets.
Exactly, exactly. Absolutely, you're spot on. It's all about emotions, and yes, I am really emotional in these last few phases because I am seeing my childhood heroes getting old and retiring soon, one after one another. Messi going to Inter Miami, Ronaldo going to Saudi, and all the players going here and there, leaving the mainstream clubs and on the verge of retirement. So it's really sad. And today also MS Dhoni celebrating his 42nd birthday. So for the viewers, keep following Revsportz and so all our social media handles, and we'll be celebrating MS Dhoni to the fullest. So thank you, Bharat, for joining. We'll be back again on Monday.